Hi, Kevin Henry, the Group Editorial Director for Advanstar, and I'm on a Google Hangout today with our esteemed technology editor, Dr. John Flucke. How you doing? Calendar turns to 2014. I know a lot of our thoughts go to the Yankee Dental Congress and the Chicago Midwinter, which are going to be here before we know it. So I kind of wanted to get your take on the Midwinter meeting, because that's always a huge product launch meeting and a huge meeting for everybody, country and internationally to come together. What's some advice that you've got for people who might be heading to the Midwinter this year?
Okay, the Midwinter and the ADA are the two really big meetings where it seems like most companies will do product launches. Now, that's not always the way it is, but overall, generally speaking, yes, the two big meetings where you can pretty much count on if if a company has a new product and they want to make a big splash in the industry, they're going to either hit the ADA or the Midwinter. And the Chicago Dental Society's Midwinter meeting is, like you said, it's going to be here before you know it. Gosh, I feel like I woke up yesterday and it was the 4th of July, and here it is now. We're planning for 14. But when you're planning on going to the Midwinter meeting, this is where you're going to see the product launches. And unfortunately, I can't talk about them because I'm sworn to secrecy, but there are some things that are going to be really cool that are going to be coming out at the Midwinter from a device standpoint that doctors are going to be salivating over. And what I would advise people, number one, if you can only make it to 1 or 2 meetings a year, definitely put the ADA and or the Midwinter meeting on that list. You don't need to make it to both of them. It's nice if you can, but for sure, if it's if you've got this whole list of different meetings that you want to go to, I definitely think one of those two should be on the list of the must-sees. And the other thing is, I'm a big one on planning, and I think part of that is just inherently, what we do as dentists. We plan, and it's the treatment plan thing, and I'm very much a ka-chunk, 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 A and then B and then C. You just have to follow a recipe. And so what I like to do when I go to a meeting, and this is what I'd recommend to other doctors, is if you're going to go and you're going to look at something, and let's pick out a category, and let's just go with caries detection, for instance. If you're going to go and you want to look at caries detection systems, it pays to do some research and some homework before the meeting. Find out what companies are making the devices. Find out, talk to your suppliers and see, are there, things that they've heard of, rumblings of, any new products coming to market. And then, when you figure out what you want to look at and how you want to do it, then I would go ahead and kind of, download an app for the meeting. Both the ADA and the Midwinter have apps where you can literally, on your smartphone, you can look and find out where these companies are, find out where they are, kind of make a plan in your mind of who you want to visit, and then find those people on the smartphone. And you might find 2 companies that are side by side or not very far away, but the last thing you want to do is be bouncing all over the doggone meeting from one end to the other when you could have stayed maybe in one corner, or you go from one end to the other and you realize, oh my gosh, I should have gone here and then 20 feet this way and then to the other end of the meeting. And so I think planning on that is helpful. Also going and having a list of questions that you want to know before you go is helpful. And also, when you go in, usually the first day of the meeting and the last day of the meeting are the ones where the traffic in the exhibit hall is the lowest. And so, first morning, almost everybody's in classes. So if you can plan on, okay, I really got to make sure that this caries detection thing is taken care of, so I might forego a class on the first morning and spend that time on the show floor, because that's when you're going to have more time to spend, with the salespeople that are knowledgeable in the booth. And then, you can always budget some more time that just in case you need more information, then you can go back on the last day as well.
And I should plug that John wrote a great article for Dental Practice Management on the 4 things that you need to do before every trade show. And so certainly want to encourage you to take a look at that, because it touches on some of those things that John just talked about. But good thing to have in your pocket as you're planning for Yankee Midwinter, whatever the meeting might be.